If you knew you were dreaming, would you still be afraid? No. The moment you truly realize that everything is an illusion, you can finally care for the first time because you have lost the fear of losing. Ultimate freedom begins the second you realize that nothing is real. You are not here. You are a ghost in a machine, a sleepwalker in a theater of shadows. This entire world is a projection, a digital like dream where you cry for nothing and fight for shadows. I tell you, even your care is a lie. It is part of the grand simulation designed to keep you asleep. There is no you to suffer, there is no world to save, there is only the vast, empty silence of the void. Wake up, for the person you think you are is the biggest illusion of all. My beloved ones, my friends, you think you are here. You think you are listening to me. You think this world around you, this solid ground, these trees, these people, this very body you inhabit is real. But let me tell you a secret. A secret that has been whispered by the Buddhas for 25 centuries. A secret that is the very heart of the Diamond Sutra. You are living in a dream. You are in a matrix, not one created by machines, but one created by your own mind, your own past, your own ego. And the moment you begin to suspect that everything is an illusion, the most natural question arises in the human heart. If everything is an illusion, why care at all? Why love? Why work? Why even breathe? I see you sitting there, carrying the weight of your worries, your broken hearts, your endless search for meaning. You are like a man who is dreaming that he is being chased by a tiger. In the dream, you are sweating, your heart is racing, you are terrified. And then someone comes and whispers in your ear, "Wake up, the tiger is just a thought." Does that mean you should stop running and let the tiger eat you? No. It means the moment you wake up, there is no tiger and there is no you to be eaten. That is the liberation I am talking about. That is why I love Gautama the Buddha so much. He represents the essential core of religiousness. He is not a founder of a religion. He is the beginner of a totally different kind of consciousness in the world. He has opened the gateless gate 25 centuries ago in the city of Sravasti, a city of glory that has now completely disappeared from the maps, turned into a cemetery. Because that is the way of life, things go on changing. the Diamond Sutra was born. The Sanskrit name for it is Vajrachedika Prajna Paramita Sutra. It means the perfection of wisdom which cuts like a thunderbolt if you allow it, if you are open. Buddha can behead you with this sutra. He can kill the you that you think you are, so that the you that you truly are can be born. A Buddha has to be both a murderer and a mother. He must destroy your illusions to give you your reality. I want to welcome you to this caravan of seekers. If you feel a resonance in your heart, if you feel that your soul has been thirsting for this light, I invite you to subscribe and walk this path with us. This is not just a channel, it is a sangha, a commune of those who are tired of the old and ready for the new, and for those who wish to enter the inner circle to support this work of turning the wheel of Dhamma once more. I invite you to click the join button. By becoming a member, you help us bring this fragrance to the whole world, creating a Buddha field where the sleeping can finally wake up. Your support through super thanks is also a beautiful gesture of gratitude, a way of sharing the abundance that comes when one starts to live in awareness. Listen to these words of the sutra. Thus have I heard at one time, the Lord dwelt at Sravasti. Ananda, Buddha's great disciple, reports this. He doesn't say, Buddha said this. He says, thus have I heard. Look at the humbleness. He is saying, I am not enlightened yet. My capacities are limited. I may have interpreted. I may have forgotten. This is only what I heard. This sincerity is needed. To know the truth, you must first admit that you do not know. Subhuti, another great disciple, almost close to Buddhahood, a bodhisattva, stands up in the assembly. He bows down in utter gratitude and asks, how then, O Lord, should one who has set out in the bodhisattva vehicle stand? How progress? How control the thoughts? Subhuti is at 99 degrees. One step more and he will evaporate into the 100th degree of enlightenment. But he stays on this shore a little longer, out of compassion, to help those who are still stumbling in the dark. And Buddha gives him a strange answer. He says, Subhuti, A bodhisattva should lead all beings to nirvana. And yet, when all beings have been led to nirvana, he should remember that no being at all has been led to nirvana. This is the thunderbolt. Why? Because if a bodhisattva thinks he is a savior, if he thinks there is an other to be saved, he is no longer a bodhisattva. The notion of a self, of a person, of a living soul is the very illusion we are trying to cut through. You ask, why care? You care because the suffering you feel is real as long as you are asleep. You care because love is the only way to melt the boundaries of the ego. But the moment you wake up, you realize that the world is okay exactly as it is. It is perfect. Even its imperfection is perfect. You don't need to change the world. You only need to change your vision. When you see through the Buddha eye, the eye of oneness, you see that the creator and the creation are not two. Your body and your soul are not two. Love and hate are one energy. Day and night are one word. This is the secret. Meditation is not a means to an end. It is the end itself. Awareness is its own reward. It imparts being. When you are alert, you feel a solidity, a rootedness. When you are unconscious, you are just a shadow dragging through life. My whole work is to make you more conscious. Not for any goal, but just for the sake of being conscious. Because in that consciousness, the I disappears. And when the I is gone, what remains is an unbounded emptiness, a virgin silence. Buddha calls this nirvana. It is not a place you go to after death. It is your very nature, hidden under the junk of your memories and desires. If you wish to carry this silence into your daily life, we have prepared e-books that delve deeper into these meditations, helping you to remain a dweller in peace, even in the midst of the marketplace. These are tools for your journey, stepping stones to the other shore. Use them, but remember, one day even the raft must be left behind. Don't be a student of knowledge, be a disciple of being. A student gathers information so he can brag, I know the Diamond Sutra. He is just collecting colored stones. A disciple is one whose heart has been touched, who is ready to die to the old to become the new. The new is a messenger from God. It always comes from the beyond, knocking on your door. But you are so afraid. You cling to the old because it is familiar, even though it makes you miserable. You are like a man who lives in a dark, stinking prison cell and is afraid to step out into the sunlight because he doesn't know what is out there. I am here to tell you, the sunlight is your home. You have never really left it. You have only been dreaming of the prison. If you find this talk helpful, if it brings a moment of clarity to your day, please share it with those you love. In this world of noise, a single word of truth is a rare gift. Comment below and tell me, what is the tiger in your dream? What is the illusion you are most afraid to let go of? Let us talk, let us commune, for in this communion, the ego begins to lose its grip. Buddha tells Subhuti to listen well and attentively. This is strange, isn't it? Subhuti is a bodhisattva. He is already attentive. But Buddha means something deeper. He means, Subhuti, bring your body here. You are so lost in your inner joy that you have become uprooted from the earth. Get into the body, be rooted, because the body is the vehicle of compassion. For you, it is the opposite. Your body is here, but your soul is absent. You are thinking of the office, the kitchen, the past, the future. You are a robot. To listen well means to be totally here, in this moment, where there is no past and no future. Only in the present can you meet the new. And the new is always beautiful. It is always a blessing. The mind is always old. The mind can never be new. It is just a collection of dead memories. To be new, you must be free of the mind. You must enter the state of no mind. And no mind is not a growth of the mind, it is a jump, a revolution. The mind doesn't want to go. It will struggle. It will create anguish. But that anguish is not because of the no mind, it is because of the mind's resistance. The rock does not want to move, but the spring is waiting behind it. Hammer the rock. Cut through the ego. The Diamond Sutra is the hammer. You say, if everything is an illusion, why care? Care, because you are a part of this beautiful dance. Care, because love is the only thing that makes the dream worth living until you wake up. And care, because when you truly care, without any motive, without any I, you become a bodhisattva. You become a cloud full of rainwater searching for a thirsty earth. You become a flower releasing its fragrance to the winds. You obligate the world by giving it your love. That is the highest state of human consciousness. The wheel of Dhamma that Buddha turned 25 centuries ago has stopped. It always loses momentum after 2500 years. It needs to be moved again. And that is our work, mine and yours. We are the ones Buddha saw in his vision. He said to Subhuti, "Do not think only you are fortunate. Even after 25 centuries, there will be beings who understand the truth. You are those beings. You have honored many Buddhas in your past lives. The seeds are already in you. I am just here to provide the rain, the sun, the Buddha field, so that you can bloom. Don't judge yourself. Don't call yourself a sinner. You are divine. Even in your darkest moments, divinity is your very stuff. The only thing that prevents you from being home is the doubt that you are not already there. Drop the doubt, drop the how, just be. Sit silently, doing nothing, and the spring comes and the grass grows by itself. This is the knack. It is not a technique, it is a surrender. Surrender your headache, surrender your ego, surrender your I. I won't get anything from it. When I wake you up, I don't get your dream, but you will get everything. You will get your reality back. You will find that you are the ocean, and the drop was just a form. You are no more an island. You have become the vast continent of being. When you are empty, your boundaries disappear, because emptiness can have no boundaries. This is the very essence of what I am trying to share with you. You think you are a separate entity, a drop of water distinct from the sea, but that is the primary glitch in the matrix of your mind. The moment you realize that you are empty of a separate self, you are one with the all. And this realization is not a loss, it is the ultimate gain. You lose your prison and you gain the whole sky. Subhuti, this beautiful disciple, who was standing on the very threshold of Buddhahood, asked a question that is burning in the heart of every true seeker. He asked, "How then, O Lord, should one who has set out in the Bodhisattva vehicle stand? How progress? How control the thoughts?" Do you see the beauty of this question? Subhuti is at 99 degrees. One step more, and he will evaporate into the 100th degree of enlightenment, the point of no return. But he is a bodhisattva, one who stays on this shore a little longer. Out of compassion, he is asking, "Lord, the pull of the other shore is so magnetic, so overwhelming, that it is difficult even to stand here on this earth. My roots in this world are 99% gone. How should I stand? How can I remain bridged to these people who are still stumbling in the dark? This is the dilemma of the awakened. Once you see that the world is a dream, it becomes very difficult to take the dream seriously. If you know that someone is crying in their sleep because they are being chased by a ghost, how do you help them? You know there is no ghost. To you, their screaming is a joke, but to them, it is a matter of life and death. I once knew a man who was brought to me because he was convinced that 2 flies had entered his stomach while he slept with his mouth open. He was in agony. He could feel them revolving in his stomach. He had been to every doctor and they all laughed at him. They told him, "You are just imagining it." But does telling someone they are imagining their pain help? No, it only makes them feel more alone in their suffering. I looked at him, I touched his stomach, and I said, "Yes, they are there. And I am an expert in dealing with problems that don't exist." I blindfolded him, told him to open his mouth, and I pretended to perform a great mantra. Then I produced 2 flies I had caught in a bottle and showed them to him. Suddenly he was perfectly okay. He went to all the logical doctors and said, "See, this man found them." This is the work of a bodhisattva. He knows your misery is false. He knows your matrix is a projection of your ego. But he uses false remedies to cure your false diseases, because that is the only language you understand. If you feel this resonance, if you feel that your soul has been thirsting for this kind of clarity, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and walk this path with us. We are creating a caravan of seekers, a modern Sangha. And for those who wish to go deeper, to support this work of awakening, I invite you to click the join button. By becoming a member, you help us keep this wheel of Dhamma turning in a world that is fast asleep. Your support through super thanks is also a beautiful way to share the abundance that comes from living in awareness. Buddha's answer to Subhuti was a thunderbolt. He said, "Subhuti, a bodhisattva should lead all beings to nirvana. And yet, when all beings have been led to nirvana, he should remember that no being at all has been led to nirvana." This is the ultimate mind fuck, if you'll excuse the expression. It is the core of the Diamond Sutra. Why lead them if they don't exist? Because as long as they think they exist, they suffer. But if the Bodhisattva thinks, I am a great savior, I am helping these poor people, he has fallen back into the trap of the ego. He has perceived a self and an other. If you think you are doing a good deed, you have missed the point. True virtue is as natural as breathing. A flower does not think it is doing a favor to the world by releasing its fragrance. It simply overflows because it is full. A cloud does not think it is being charitable by raining on a thirsty earth. It rains because it is unburdened by the receiving earth. This is how a bodhisattva gives. He gives unsupported by any notion of a sign. He does not think, I am the giver, this is the gift, and you are the recipient. In that oneness, there is no one to feel proud. This is why Buddha is so unique. He doesn't give you an ideology. Ideologies are of the mind, and the mind can never take you beyond the mind. Buddha is non-repressive and non-ideological. He doesn't tell you to become a saint. He tells you to become empty. He takes away your gods. He takes away your heaven. He takes away your future. And finally, He takes away yourself. He leaves you with a virgin emptiness, which He calls nirvana. You ask, why care if everything is an illusion? You care because that very caring without an I is the most beautiful dance in existence. When you drop the ego, you don't become a stone. You become a flower. You become more sensitive, not less. When you are no longer protecting a self, you are finally free to love. Love is only possible when you don't judge, and you can only stop judging when you realize that the world is okay, exactly as it is. The politician and the revolutionary think the world is not okay. They want to improve upon God. But their improvement always leads to more prisons, more blood, more ego. The religious mind has no judgment. It sees that even imperfection is perfect. A hunchback once challenged a Sufi master, saying, "Look at me, is this not proof that life is not perfect?" And the Sufi replied, "But you are the most perfect hunchback I have ever seen." If you wish to carry this vision into your daily life, we have prepared e-books that explore these themes of suchness and no mind in greater detail. These are not just words, they are tools to help you recognize the matrix while you are living in it. Use them to keep your awareness bright, even in the midst of the marketplace. Buddha then asked Subhuti a very tricky question. He said, "Subhuti, can the Tathagata, the one who has gone to the other shore, be seen by the possession of his marks?" The scriptures say A Buddha has 32 special marks of his Superman. But Buddha says, wherever there is possession of marks, there is fraud. Why? Because the real mark of a Buddha is that he possesses nothing, not even Buddhahood. A real Buddha does not claim to be a Buddha, because all claims are of the ego. He is utterly ordinary. If you met him on the street, you might not even recognize him. He is not a performer or an actor. He is just an empty mirror. A mirror says nothing. It simply reflects what is there, yatha bhutam, as it is. If you are ugly, the mirror shows you your ugliness. If you are beautiful, it shows you your beauty. But the mirror itself remains empty and unaffected. I am also here as a mirror for you. If you find value in these reflections, if they help you see your own inner sky, please share this video with others. Comment below and tell me, what is one mark or identity you are ready to drop today? Is it your success, your suffering, your knowledge? Let us discuss, for in the sharing, the illusion begins to fade. Buddha predicted that 25 centuries after him, the wheel of Dhamma would stop and would need to be moved again. He said to Subhuti that in that future time, our time, there would be beings who understand the truth. And he said these beings are even more fortunate than those sitting with him, because they have honored hundreds of thousands of Buddhas in their past lives. You are those beings. The seeds are already in you. My work is simply to provide the Buddha fields where those seeds can finally sprout. Do not be a student of knowledge, gathering colored stones. Be a disciple of being, ready to die to the old, to become the new. The new is a messenger from God. It comes from the beyond, and although it may be uncomfortable, it is the only thing that can transform you. Don't ask how to be free. The how is just another trick of the mind to keep you busy with methods. Just sit silently, just be. In that silence, the matrix dissolves, and you find that you have always been home. Don't wait for a special auspicious time. All time is the same for the seeker. Truth is not a quality that happens sometimes and not others. It is eternal, here now. You just have to become available to it. Drop your fear, for fear is the basic earlock on the door of truth. Trust your own being. Trust that you belong to this existence, that you are a product of it, and that it has some destiny to fulfill through you. Let your faith be serene. not a choice against doubt, but a blooming that arises out of stillness. When you are utterly serene, when there is no thought in the mind, suddenly you will feel that something has been decided, and you are not the one who decided it. It is existence itself moving through you. That is the state of the Tathagata. Thus came, thus gone, like the wind that moves wherever there is a need, without a goal of its own. Be like the wind. Be like the mirror. Be the nothingness that you already are. This brings us to a very delicate point, a point where the mind usually falters. Subhuti, moved to tears by the sheer beauty and the terrifying depth of what Buddha was saying, asked, "O Lord, by what name shall this religious discourse be known? And how should we honor it?" And Buddha replied, "Subhuti, this discourse should be known as the Diamond Sutra, the perfection of wisdom. For just as a diamond can cut through any other substance, this wisdom cuts through the most stubborn illusions of the ego." But then, in his characteristic way of taking away with one hand what he gives with the other, Buddha added, "And yet, Subhuti, there is no perfection of wisdom that the Tathagata has taught. What the Tathagata teaches is not a teaching." Do you see the trap? If you start thinking, "Now I possess the Diamond Sutra, now I am wise," you have already fallen back into the matrix. You have created a new identity, the identity of a wise person. And any identity, no matter how holy, is a prison. A golden cage is still a cage. The true seeker is not looking for a better cage. He is looking for the open sky. This is why I often tell you, don't just listen to my words. My words are like fingers pointing at the moon. If you start analyzing the finger, if you start worshipping the finger, you will miss the moon. The moon is silent. The moon is a presence. To see it, you must look where the finger is pointing. And then you must forget the finger. When you are looking at the moon, do you remember the finger? No. If you still remember the finger, you are not looking at the moon. Many of you come to me asking for a method or a path. But the truth is, there is no path. A path exists only if there is a distance between you and your destination. But in the world of the spirit, you are the destination. You are already that which you are seeking. How can there be a path to yourself? You have only wandered away in your dreams. All that is needed is a sudden awakening, a turning about in the deepest seat of your consciousness. If you find that these words are triggering something deep within you, like a bell ringing in a deserted valley, then you are ready to be part of our inner circle. I invite you to click the join button and become a member of this growing Sangha. Your presence as a member provides the fuel for this lamp to keep burning, ensuring that this diamond wisdom reaches every corner of the earth. And if you feel a sudden surge of gratitude for these insights, your contribution through Super Thanks is a beautiful way to express that energy, keeping the flow of giving and receiving alive. Buddha then said something that must have shocked the scholars of his time. He said, Subhuti, if a man were to give away as many universes filled with the 7 precious treasures as there are grains of sand in the Ganges, would his merit be great? Subhuti is still thinking in human terms, said, Yes, Lord, it would be very great. But Buddha said, if another man were to take from this sutra only 4 lines and teach them to others, his merit would be far greater. Why? Because giving treasures only helps the body, which is itself an illusion, a temporary garment. But sharing the truth helps the soul to wake up from the dream of birth and death. One gives comfort in the dream, the other ends the dream itself. But remember, the moment you think I am gaining merit by teaching this, you have lost it. True merit is meritless. It is a byproduct of your being, not a goal of your ego. This is the secret of the 4 lines. You don't need to memorize the whole sutra. You don't need to be a scholar. If you can just understand one thing, that I is a fiction, you have understood everything. All your problems, all your anxieties, all your heartbreaks are attached to this I. If the I is not there, who is there to be anxious? Who is there to be insulted? Who is there to be afraid of death? Imagine you are a wave in the ocean. If you think of yourself as a wave, you are afraid of the wind, you are afraid of other waves, and you are terrified of the moment you will hit the shore and disappear. But if you realize you are the ocean, where is the fear? You don't become the ocean. You always were. You were just preoccupied with your waveness. Meditation is nothing but the process of shifting your identity from the wave to the ocean. To help you in this shift, we have curated a collection of ebooks that serve as companions on this journey. They are designed to help you deconstruct the matrix of the ego and find the stillness of the depths. They are not knowledge, but pointers to your own inner reality. I encourage you to explore them and let them work on your heart. People often ask me, Osho, why do you talk so much if words are useless? I talk to tire out your mind. I talk so that your mind eventually gives up trying to understand and simply falls into silence. My talk is a lullaby to put your ego to sleep so that your soul can wake up. I am not giving you information, I am giving you an infection. If you stay close to me long enough, you will catch the Buddha disease, the disease of being blissfully, hopelessly silent. Buddha says to Subhuti, the Tathagata has no notion of a self, no notion of a person, no notion of a living soul, no notion of an individual, and yet he uses the word I. He says, I have realized. This is the beauty of a Buddha. He uses the language of the world, but he is not of the world. He uses the word I just as a linguistic convenience, like you use the word center for a circle. The center is just a point, it has no dimensions, but without it, the circle cannot exist. Don't be deceived by appearances. The matrix is very clever. It can even turn spirituality into a part of the dream. You can dream that you are a great meditator. You can dream that you are enlightened. You can dream that you are the favorite disciple of a master. But as long as there is a you, it is still a dream. The real awakening is the disappearance of the you. It is like the flame of a candle that has been blown out. Where does it go? It doesn't go anywhere. It simply ceases to be separate from the air. If this message resonates with you, if you feel a sense of aha in your heart, please share this video. Let it be a seed that falls into the soil of someone else's life. Comment below and share what is the one thing you have been clinging to as mine. Your pain, your history, your pride. Just by naming it, you begin to distance yourself from it. One of the most profound things Buddha says in the Diamond Sutra is this: a person who is truly on the path does not think I am on the path. The moment you claim a status, you have missed the mark. True holiness is so natural that it doesn't even know it is holy. It is like the health of the body. When you are perfectly healthy, you don't feel your body. You only feel your head when you have a headache. You only feel yourself when you have an ego ache. Bliss is the absence of the self. You ask if everything is an illusion, why care at all? Care because this very moment is a gift. Care because you are the universe experiencing itself. Care because love is the only way to melt the ice of the ego. But care without attachment. Play the game of life fully, but know that it is a game. Be like an actor on a stage. Cry real tears. Feel the passion of the role, but deep down know that when the curtain falls, you are not the character. You are the witness. The Diamond Sutra is a call to total rebellion. Not a rebellion against the world, but a rebellion against your own unconsciousness. It is the most radical document ever produced by human consciousness. It doesn't ask you to believe, it asks you to see. It doesn't ask you to follow, it asks you to wake up. And when you wake up, you will find that the Buddha, the Master, the Sutra, and you are all one single pulsing light. The wheel of Dhamma is turning. Are you ready to turn with it, or will you remain stuck in the mud of your old habits? The choice is yours, and the choice is always now. Don't put it off until tomorrow, for tomorrow is just another dream. Step out of the matrix. Step into the light. The door is open. It has always been open. You just had your eyes closed, dreaming of a locked door. Open your eyes. I am here. You are here. Existence is here. And that is more than enough. Let this silence settle into your heart. Let these words be like seeds that will sprout when the time is right. You don't have to do anything. Just be available. Just be. And in that being, the whole mystery of existence will be revealed to you. Not as a piece of information, but as a living, breathing reality. You are the truth. You are the way. You are the life. This is the great paradox. The more you realize that you are nothing, the more you become everything. When you are a somebody, you are limited by that somebodiness. If you are a king, you are not a beggar. If you are a man, you are not a woman. If you are a scholar, you are not an innocent child. But when you are nobody, you can be everything. You become the wind, you become the rain, you become the silence of the stars and the laughter of the flowers. This is what Buddha means by sunyata, emptiness. This emptiness is not a vacuum, it is a plenum. It is full, overflowing with pure potentiality. In the matrix of your mind, you are always trying to become something. You want to be successful, You want to be powerful. You want to be enlightened. But the desire to be enlightened is the greatest barrier to enlightenment itself. Because desire is a movement away from the present, and enlightenment is the realization of the absolute here now. You cannot attain what you already are. You can only drop the illusions that prevent you from seeing it. The Diamond Sutra is not a map to a far-off land. It is a mirror reflecting the face you had before you were born. If you are feeling a deep stillness descending upon you as you listen to these words, it is a sign that your heart is opening. To nourish this opening and to stay connected with this vibration, I invite you to click the join button. Our members are the backbone of this commune, helping us to spread this fire of awareness to a world that is freezing in its own unconsciousness. And if you feel moved to share your gratitude for this transmission, a super thanks is a beautiful way to keep the energy moving. Giving and receiving are not two things. They are the two wings of the same bird. Subhuti asked Buddha, Lord, is there any being who will hear these words and develop a true belief? Buddha replied, Subhuti, do not speak like that. Even at the end of time, there will be beings who, having practiced virtue and wisdom, will find these words meaningful. But remember, Subhuti, these beings do not rely on the notion of a self, a person, or a soul. Why? Because the very idea of belief is a projection of the mind. Truth does not require belief, it requires vision. This is the difference between a philosopher and a mystic. A philosopher thinks about the truth. He creates theories about the truth. He believes or disbelieves. A mystic simply opens his eyes and sees. If the sun is shining, do you need to believe in the sun? No. You just see it. Belief is only needed for things that are not there. You believe in heaven, you believe in hell, you believe in the ego, because none of these are real. You don't need to believe in the truth. The truth is that which remains when all your beliefs have been burned away. This burning away is what I call meditation. It is a process of unlearning. You have been taught so many things: your name, your religion, your nationality, your personality. All of these are labels pasted on a bottle. The bottle is empty, but you think it is the label. I am here to peel off the labels and break the bottle so that the emptiness inside can merge with the emptiness outside. That is the only freedom there is. To assist you in this process of unlearning, we have prepared special e-books that guide you through the various stages of deconstructing the ego. They are like maps for the gateless gate, helping you to navigate the illusions of the mind until you reach the shore of no mind. I encourage you to use these resources, for the path is subtle and the mind is very cunning. Buddha says something very strange in this sutra. He says the Tathagata has no dharma to teach. Now think about it. For 42 years, Buddha was talking every day. He gave thousands of lectures. He answered thousands of questions. And at the end he says he hasn't said a single word. Is he joking? No, he is being profoundly serious. He is saying that truth cannot be spoken. What can be spoken is only a description. And the description is not the described. The word fire does not burn your tongue. The word water does not quench your thirst. My words are just an invitation. I am shouting at you because you are asleep. My shouting is not the truth, it is just a way to wake you up. Once you are awake, you will see the truth for yourself, and you will realize that my shouting was just a noise. But that noise was necessary because you were dreaming of such loud, terrifying things that only a loud shout could reach you. You ask, if everything is an illusion, why care? Care because you are a part of the illusion. And within the illusion, there are rules. If you are in a play and you are playing the role of Romeo, you must love Juliet with all your heart. If you play it half-heartedly, you are a poor actor. The enlightened man is the best actor. He plays his role perfectly, as a father, as a friend, as a master, but deep down he knows it is just a role. He is not attached to the outcome. If the play ends in a tragedy, he doesn't cry for real. If it ends in a comedy, he doesn't get lost in the laughter. He remains the witness. Being a witness is the ultimate secret. Whatever is happening, just watch it. If you are angry, watch the anger. Don't say, I am angry. Say, anger is there and I am watching it. If you are sad, watch the sadness. The moment you become a witness, a distance is created between you and the emotion. And in that distance, the emotion loses its power over you. It becomes like a cloud passing in the sky. You are the sky, and the clouds are just guests. Don't identify with the guests. Stay with your hostness. If you find this perspective helpful, if it gives you a sense of a space in your crowded life, please share this video with others let the message spread. Comment below and tell me, what is the most sticky role you play in your life? Is it the victim, the provider, the intellectual? Recognizing the role is the first step toward stepping out of it. Buddha tells Subhuti that the Tathagata is called thus come, thus gone. It means one who comes like the wind and goes like the wind, leaving no footprints. A Buddha is a person without a biography. His outer life may have events, but his inner life is a total void, a beautiful silence. He doesn't accumulate anything, not even memories. He lives so totally in each moment that the moment is finished and he moves to the next, fresh and new. You, on the other hand, are a collector of dead moments. You carry your whole past on your shoulders like a heavy mountain. That is why you look so tired, so old, even when you are young. You are carrying the weight of your childhood, your school days, your first love, your past failures. Drop the mountain. The past is no more. It is a ghost, and the future is not yet born. Only this moment is real. To live in the moment is to be a Tathagata. This is the diamond wisdom. It cuts through the past and the future to leave you in the eternal now. It is sharp, it is dangerous, and it is the most beautiful thing in the world. But to handle this diamond, you need courage. You need the courage to be nobody. You need the courage to be empty. You need the courage to realize that the matrix of your life is your own creation. Don't be afraid of this emptiness. People are terrified of being alone, of being empty. So they fill their lives with noise, television, internet, relationships, work. But this noise is just a distraction from the truth of your own being. If you can sit with your emptiness, if you can be a friend to your own silence, you will find a joy that no one can take away from you. A joy that doesn't depend on anything outside of you. That is the only true security. The world will continue its dance. The matrix will continue to project its shadows. But once you have seen through the game, you can never be a victim again. You can live in the world, but you will not be of the world. You will be like a lotus flower, which grows in the mud, but remains untouched by it. The mud is necessary for the lotus to grow, but the lotus is not the mud. Your ego is the mud, your awareness is the lotus. Let the lotus bloom, Let these words sink deep into your soul. Don't try to understand them with your brain. Let them resonate in your heart. You are a Buddha in embryo. You have the potential for total awakening. All that is needed is a little more awareness, a little more love, and a total surrender to the suchness of life. You are already home. You have never left. Just open your eyes and see. This is the ultimate paradox of the spiritual path. You are looking for something that you have never lost. You are like a man who has his glasses on his forehead and is running around the whole house, crying and screaming, "Who stole my glasses? I cannot see without them." The more he runs, the more he misses the fact that they are right there, touching his very skin. The work of a master is not to give you new glasses. It is simply to stop your running, to make you sit down and to gently point to your forehead. The moment you realize they were always there, you laugh. That laughter is the laughter of a Buddha. It is a laughter that says, "How could I have been so blind to something so obvious?" The Diamond Sutra is that gentle pointing, but the pointing is sharp, like a thunderbolt, because your running has become a habit of many lifetimes. You have been running for millions of years, in different bodies, in different worlds, under different names. You have become an expert in running. To stop you requires a shock. This is why Buddha's words are so uncompromising. He doesn't offer you a middle way that is a compromise with the ego. His middle way is a sharp edge, like a razor's path. You have to walk on it with absolute awareness, for if you slip, you fall back into the matrix of the self. If you are beginning to feel that click in your heart, that sudden recognition of your own original face, then you are ready to deepen your commitment to this journey. I invite you to click the join button and become a formal part of this digital Sangha. Our members are the pioneers of a new humanity, a humanity that values being over having and silence over noise. Your support as a member, Arthro Super Thanks, allows us to keep these ancient truths alive in a modern language, reaching seekers in every corner of the globe. And for those who want to take these meditations into their quiet hours, our ebooks are available as companions for your inner exploration. Buddha concludes this magnificent discourse with a verse that is perhaps the most famous in all of Buddhist literature. He says to Subhuti, "As stars, a fault of vision, as a lamp, a mark so. Dewdrops are a bubble, a dream, a lightning flash are clouds. So should one view what is conditioned. These are the 6 metaphors of the illusory world. Let us look at them one by one, for they are the keys to your liberation. As stars, in the night the stars look so real, so bright, so permanent. But when the sun rises, where do they go? Do they hide? No, they are still there, but their light is so small compared to the sun that they become invisible. In the same way, your ego, your problems, your small I look very real in the darkness of your unconsciousness. But the moment the sun of awareness rises in your heart, they simply disappear. They don't go anywhere, they just lose their significance in the light of the whole. A fault of vision. This is like a man who has a cataract and sees 2 moons in the sky. There are not 2 moons. It is just a defect in his eye. Your self is a fault of vision. You see a separation between me and you, between man and nature, but there is no such separation. Existence is one, undivided whole. The individual is just a hallucination caused by the cataract of the ego. Meditation is the surgery that removes this cataract. As a lamp flickers in the wind. It depends on the oil and the wick. It is a temporary phenomenon. Your life, your body, your thoughts are like that lamp. They depend on many conditions. If the oxygen is gone, you are gone. If the food is gone, you are gone. Something that depends on external conditions cannot be the ultimate reality. The ultimate reality is unconditioned. It simply is. It doesn't depend on anything. Find that which is unconditioned within you, and you have found God. A mark so. This is like a puppet theater or a magic trick. You see the magician pull a rabbit out of a hat. You know it is a trick, but you enjoy the show. The world is a mark so. Enjoy it. Love, dance, work, play. But don't be deceived by it. Don't think the rabbit is real. If you know it's a trick, you can never be a victim of the magician. The mind is the magician, and the world is the rabbit. Dewdrops are a bubble. Look at a dewdrop on a lotus leaf in the morning sun. It is so beautiful, shining like a pearl. But a small breeze comes and the drop slips into the lake. Is the drop lost? No, it has become the lake. It has lost its pearlness to gain oceanness. You are afraid of death because you think you are the dewdrop. I am here to tell you, you are the lake. The dewdrop is just a temporary form. And look at a bubble. It is just a bit of air wrapped in a thin film of water. It lasts for a second and then pops. Your ego is that bubble. Why be so protective of a bubble? Let it pop. The air inside will merge with the air outside, and the water will return to the sea. If these metaphors are helping you to see the matrix for what it is, please share this video with those who are still struggling with their dews and bubbles. Let the light spread. Comment below and tell me which of these 6 metaphors resonates most with your life right now. Is your life a flickering lamp? Is it a dream? By acknowledging the nature of your reality, you begin to transcend it. A dream, a lightning flash, are clouds. A dream feels totally real while you are in it. You can even dream that you are a Buddha. But when you wake up, the dream is gone. Lightning flashes for a microsecond and then the darkness returns. It is a momentary event. And clouds, they come and go. They take different shapes. Sometimes a mountain, sometimes an elephant, but they are just vapor. They have no substance. Your thoughts are exactly like clouds. Don't fight them. Don't try to change their shape. Just watch them pass. You are the infinite sky in which the clouds appear. The sky is never affected by the clouds. Whether it is a dark, thundering cloud or a white, fluffy one, the sky remains pure blue and silent. You ask, if everything is an illusion, why care at all? You care because caring is the fragrance of the sky. When you know you are the sky, you don't care because you have to, but because you are. Compassion is not a duty. It is a natural radiation of a heart that has found its center. A man who knows that the world is a dream doesn't become indifferent. He becomes infinitely kind. He sees that everyone else is suffering in their dreams, and his only desire is to gently wake them up. This is the diamond that Buddha wants you to have. It is the wisdom that cuts through all suffering. But to receive it, you must be empty. If you are full of your own ideas, your own knowledge, your own escort spirituality, there is no room for the diamond. You must come to me with empty hands. Don't bring your past, don't bring your future. Just bring your presence. The Diamond Sutra is not for the faint-hearted. It is for the rebels, the gamblers, those who are willing to lose everything to find themselves. It is the most revolutionary statement ever made. It tells you that you are not a soul in a body. You are not a person with a name. You are not a being that exists in time. You are the great void, the sunyata, the nothingness. That is the source of everything. Don't be afraid of the word nothingness. In the English language, nothing sounds like absence. But in the language of the Buddhas, nothing means no-thingness. It is the state of being before things are formed. It is the pure, unmanifested energy of existence. You are that energy. And because you are no thing, you can never be destroyed. Fire cannot burn you, water cannot drown you, and death cannot touch you. The matrix is a construction of labels and limits. The Diamond Sutra is the demolition of all construction. When the walls are gone, when the roof is gone, when the foundations are gone, what remains? The vast open sky. That sky is your home. That sky is your reality. I am here to help you demolish the house you have built around yourself. It may be a beautiful house, it may be a palace, but it is still a prison because it has walls. I want you to live in the open, under the stars, in the wind, in the rain. I want you to be a nomad of the spirit, forever moving, forever fresh, forever new. Take this wisdom with you into your day. Let it be a small flame in your heart. When you find yourself getting angry, remember the bubble. When you find yourself getting greedy, remember the lightning flash. When you find yourself getting attached, remember the dewdrop. Slowly, slowly the matrix will lose its grip on you. And one day suddenly you will find that you are awake. And in that awakening, you will see that I am not here and you are not there. There is only this silence, this beauty, this suchness. The wheel of Dhamma continues to turn. It is a privilege to turn it with you. Stay alert, stay conscious, and above all, stay in love with existence. Everything is a gift, even the illusion. For without the illusion, there would be no way to find the truth. The dream is the gateway to the awakening. The silence that follows a thunderbolt is not just the absence of sound, It is a presence, a weight, a new kind of atmosphere. When Buddha says that all conditioned things are like a dream or a bubble, he is not trying to make you pessimistic. He is not saying that life is a misery. On the contrary, he is trying to relieve you of the misery of taking the dream too seriously. If you know it is a dream, you can enjoy it. You can play with the bubbles. You can admire the lightning. You can watch the clouds without being afraid of the storm. This is the freedom of the diamond wisdom. It doesn't take you away from the world, it takes the world out of you. Subhuti, listening to these final words, felt a great transformation. The diamond had cut through the last remaining threads of his ego. He realized that even his desire for nirvana was a part of the matrix. He realized that even his love for Buddha was a form of attachment. And in that realization, he truly became a Buddha himself. He was no longer a seeker, he was the sought. He was no longer a listener, he was the silence itself. This is the goal of our journey together. To reach a point where the teacher and the taught disappear, leaving only a pure radiance. If you are feeling this radiance, if you feel that your inner journey has reached a new level of depth, I invite you to click the join button. Our members are the guardians of this sacred space, helping us to keep the flame of awareness burning bright in a world that often prefers the dark. Your contribution as a member or through super thanks is a gesture of love and support that resonates far beyond this digital platform. It is a way of saying yes to the truth. And for those who wish to study these ancient sutras in their own time, our e-books provide a way to carry this fragrance into every moment of your day. There is a beautiful story from the Zen tradition about a master named Rinzai. Rinzai was a fierce seeker. He spent years with his master, and every time he would ask a question about the truth, the master would simply beat him with a stick. He didn't give him an answer, he gave him a sock. He didn't give him information, he gave him a direct experience of the now. After several such beatings, Rinzai decided to leave. He thought this master is crazy. He has nothing to teach me. But on his journey, he met another master who asked him where he was coming from. Rinzai told him about the beatings. The other master laughed and said, "Your master was being so compassionate to you, like a mother. He was trying to knock the ego out of your head and you call him crazy? In that moment, Rinzai understood. He turned back, ran to his master, and before the master could even say a word, Rinzai slapped him. The master laughed and said, "Now you have arrived. Now you don't need my beatings anymore." This is the diamond at work. It is not polite. It is not nice in the social sense. It is a surgery. It is the last chance for the master to kill you before you become enlightened. Because once you are enlightened, you are beyond the reach of any master. Once you are home, the door is closed behind you. You have transcended all forms, all distinctions, all dualities. You have become the master of your own soul. Do not be concerned with the words I speak. Use them as stepping stones. Don't be concerned with my gestures or my way of living. Don't try to imitate me. If you imitate me, you will become a pseudo-Osho, and the world already has enough imitations. I want you to be yourself. I want you to find your own inner Buddha. A Buddha cannot be imitated. It can only be lived. Imitation is of the mind, transformation is of the being. People often ask me, "Osho, if everything is an illusion, what is the point of being moral? Why not just do whatever I want?" This is a misunderstanding. When you realize that everything is an illusion, you don't become immoral, you become natural. Immorality and morality are two sides of the same coin of judgment. The enlightened man acts out of awareness, not out of a code of conduct. He doesn't need a law to tell him not to kill, because he sees himself in every living being. How can you kill yourself? He doesn't need a law to tell him to be honest, because he has nothing to hide. The matrix is a world of shoulds and should nots. The world of the Diamond Sutra is a world of isness. Just being what you are in this moment without any desire to be anything else. This is the highest virtue. It is a state of total relaxation. You are no longer fighting with existence, you are floating with it. You have dropped the oars and you are letting the river take you to the ocean. And the beauty of it is that the river is the ocean and you are the river. If this message has touched your heart, if it has brought a tear to your eye or a smile to your face, please share it. Let it reach someone who is tired of the struggle, someone who is ready to let go. Comment below and tell me what is one thing you have been trying to imitate in your life? What is the mask you are ready to take off? In the naming of the mask begins to fall away. Buddha says to Subhuti, even if a man were to fill universes with treasures and give them away, it would not compare to the merit of one who understands 4 lines of this sutra. Why? Because treasures can only buy you a better dream, but the truth can wake you up. One is a horizontal movement from a poor dream to a rich dream. The other is a vertical movement from dreaming to awakening. I am not interested in your horizontal life. I am only here to give you a vertical push. Don't be afraid of the height. Don't be afraid of the silence. It is your natural state. You have been away for a long time, and you have forgotten the language of the silence, but it is still there, waiting for you in the deepest core of your being. Just sit silently, doing nothing, and the spring comes, and the grass grows by itself. This doing nothing is the hardest thing in the world for the ego, because the ego only exists in doing. In being, the ego evaporates. Let these words be like the morning sun, gently waking you up from a long, troubled night. You are not the person you think you are. You are not your name, your job, your body, or your thoughts. You are the infinite, eternal awareness that is watching all these things come and go. You are the witness. You are the thus come, the thus gone. You are the Buddha. The wheel of Dhamma has been turned once more. The diamond has been polished. The mirror has been cleared of dust. Now it is up to you. Will you continue to sleep, or will you open your eyes and see the glory that is already here? The sun is rising. The birds are singing. The flowers are blooming. Existence is celebrating. Why are you sitting in the corner, crying over your shadows? Come out. Join the dance. Be the dance. My love is with you. My blessings are with you. We are not separate. In the heart of the Diamond Sutra, we are one. One light, one silence, one joy. Let this joy permeate your every cell. Let it be your breath, your heartbeat, your very existence. You are home. You have always been home. Good night, my beloved ones, or rather good morning, for the night is over and the day has begun. See you in the silence, and don't forget to subscribe, to click join, and to explore our ebooks. As you continue your journey, every step you take in awareness is a step toward the ultimate celebration. I am with you every step of the way. The thunderbolt of the Diamond Sutra is not meant to illuminate your path. It is meant to destroy the one who is walking it. You are so obsessed with the path and the goal that you have forgotten the traveler. And the traveler is a ghost. The traveler is a fiction created by the language, by the society, by the memories you carry. When Buddha says, "Thus have I heard," he is cutting the very root of authority. He is saying that truth is not something you possess, but something that passes through you. It is a fragrance that comes with the wind and goes with the wind. If you try to catch it, if you try to bottle it and say, "This is my truth," you have only captured a bit of stale air. The fragrance is gone, the diamond is gone. This is the beauty of the matrix we live in. It is so convincing, so solid, so heavy that we never even think to question its reality. We question our success, we question our relationships, we question our health, but we never question the I that is experiencing all these things. We take the I for granted. But the Diamond Sutra says that this I is the greatest illusion of all. It is the core of the matrix. Everything else is just a projection of this central lie. If the I is false, then the my is false. If my is false, then the whole world of mine and thine disappears. And in that disappearance, what remains? Only the suchness, only the tathata. I see you struggling with your thoughts, trying to control them, trying to quiet the mind. But who is trying to control whom? It is just the mind playing a game with itself. It is like a dog chasing its own tail. The more the dog runs, the more the tail eludes him. The dog doesn't realize that he is the tail. You are the mind. There is no you separate from the mind that can control it. When you realize this, the struggle stops. And in that stopping, the mind becomes silent on its own. Not because you forced it, but because the game became boring. Because you saw through the trick. If you are beginning to see through the trick of your own mind, if you feel that these words are acting like a mirror, I invite you to click the join button. By becoming a member of this commune, you are not just supporting a channel, you are participating in a global movement of awareness. You are helping us build a bridge between the ancient wisdom of the Buddhas and the modern world of the Matrix. Your support through super thanks is a beautiful way to share your energy, to keep the wheel of Dhamma turning for all those who are still lost in the dark. And for those who wish to study these maps of the inner sky more closely, our e-books offer a deep dive into the art of letting go. Buddha says to Subhuti, Subhuti, what do you think? Does the Tathagata have the idea, I will lead all beings to nirvana? Do not think so, Subhuti. Why? Because there is no being who has been led to nirvana by the Tathagata. This is the ultimate blow to the ego of the teacher and the disciple. The ego wants to be a savior, and the ego wants to be saved. Both are parts of the same dream. A true master knows that there is no one to save, because no one is lost. You are only dreaming that you are lost. If I save you in your dream, I am just another character in your dream. My work is to wake you up, and when you wake up, you will see that you were never lost, and I never saved you. We were both just part of the same beautiful empty play. Think about a mirror. The mirror reflects 1,000 things: mountains, rivers, people, garbage. Does the mirror become the mountain? No. Does it become the garbage? No. When the mountain moves away, the mirror is empty. When the garbage is removed, the mirror is empty. The mirror itself never changes. You are that mirror. Your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences are just reflections passing through you. But you have become so identified with the reflections that you have forgotten the mirror. You think you are the garbage, or you think you are the mountain. You are neither. You are the emptiness that allows everything to be reflected. This is the state of the Tathagata, the thus come, thus gone. He is like the wind that passes through a hollow bamboo. The bamboo doesn't try to hold the wind, and the wind doesn't try to stay in the bamboo. They meet for a moment, a song is born, and then they are gone. Life should be like that, a series of songs, a series of moments with no attachment, no clinging, no I. When you live this way, the matrix cannot touch you. You are in it, but you are not of it. You are like a lotus leaf in the water. The water is all around it, but the leaf remains dry. The ego is always looking for merit. It wants to know, if I do this, what will I get? Will I get a better life? Will I get to heaven? Will I get enlightened? But Buddha says that the highest merit is meritless. It is a merit that comes from no self. If you do a good deed and you think, I have done a good deed, you have already received your reward in the form of ego inflation. You have gained nothing. But if you do a good deed as naturally as a flower gives off its scent without any eye, then that deed has a cosmic significance. It is a movement of existence itself. This is why the Diamond Sutra is so difficult for the logical mind. The mind wants everything to be clear, categorized, and purposeful. But life is not clear. It is a mystery. It is not a problem to be solved. It is a reality to be experienced. The matrix is the mind's attempt to solve the mystery by creating a map. But the map is not the territory. You have been living on the map for so long that you have forgotten the earth under your feet. I am here to tear up your map. I am here to leave you standing on the naked earth under the infinite sky with no idea where to go. Because when you have nowhere to go, you are finally here. If you feel a sense of relief in this nowhere, if you feel that the weight of your purpose is lifting, please share this video with others. Let them know that it is okay to be lost. It is okay to be empty. Comment below and tell me, what is the map you have been following? What are the rules you are tired of obeying? Let us communicate in this shared space of honesty. For in honesty, the ego begins to melt. Buddha says that his teaching is like a raft. You use the raft to cross the river. But once you have reached the other shore, do you carry the raft on your head? No, that would be foolish. You leave the raft behind and you walk your way. But there are many people who are so in love with the raft, with the scriptures, with the rituals, with the words of the Master, that they never even leave the shore. They just sit on the raft and talk about the other shore. I am telling you, leave the raft. Even my words are just a raft. Don't carry me on your head. Once you have understood, forget me. The only way to honor a master is to become a master yourself. The Diamond Sutra is the perfection of wisdom because it leaves you with nothing. It takes away your God. It takes away your soul. It takes away your I. And finally, it takes away the Buddha. And when everything is taken away, what remains is the truth. The truth is not a thing. It is a state of being. It is a silence so profound that even the word silence would disturb it. It is a joy so deep that it has no opposite. This is your inheritance. This is who you are when you are not being someone. Don't be afraid of this nothingness. It is the womb of the universe. Everything comes out of it, and everything returns to it. You are a part of this eternal pulse. The matrix is just a small, flickering shadow on the wall of this vast emptiness. Why be afraid of a shadow? Why try to fight a shadow? Just turn around and look at the light. The light is within you. It is the light of your own awareness, your own witnessing. The wheel of Dhamma is turning, and we are turning with it. This is a moment of great transition. The old world is dying, and a new world is trying to be born. But the new world can only be born through you, through your awareness, through your courage to be empty. Don't wait for a savior. Don't wait for a miracle. You are the miracle. You are the savior. Just wake up and see the diamond that is already in your hand. The realization that there is no one to save and no one to be saved is the final nail in the coffin of the ego. It is the ultimate freedom. But do not mistake this for indifference. When you realize that the person sitting next to you is a dream and you yourself are a dream, a strange thing happens. Compassion arises for the first time. It is a compassion that is not directed toward a person, but toward the very suffering of the dreaming. You see someone crying in their sleep, and your heart goes out to them, not because their ghost is real, but because their pain is real within the context of the dream. This is the diamond at work. It cuts through the identity but leaves the heart wide open. This is why I invite you to join this caravan. If your heart has been stirred by these reflections, if you feel that the old ways of thinking are no longer enough, I invite you to click the join button and become a part of our digital Sangha. Our members are the pioneers of this new consciousness, helping us to turn the wheel of Dhamma in a digital age. Your support, whether through membership or a super thanks, is a beautiful way to acknowledge the value of this awakening. And for those who want to go deeper, our ebooks offer a roadmap through the territory of the soul, helping you to deconstruct the matrix of your own mind. Think about Subhuti one day while he was sitting under a tree in deep meditation. It is said that the gods started showering him with flowers. Subhuti was surprised. He asked, "Why are you showering me with flowers? I have not said a single word. I have not done anything." And the gods replied, "We are showering you with flowers because you have not said anything. You have reached the state of no mind, and in that state, the whole existence celebrates." This is the highest praise existence can give, the praise of silence. You are always looking for praise from the world. You want people to tell you how smart you are, how good you are, how successful you are. But all that praise is just noise. It is food for the ego. The ego lives on the opinions of others, but the soul lives on its own light. When you are truly silent, when you have dropped the matrix of your social identity, you don't need anyone's approval. You are approved by existence itself. You are a part of the whole, and the whole is happy that you are here. The Diamond Sutra tells us that everything that has a sign is deceptive. Your name is a sign. Your face is a sign. Your status is a sign. Even your enlightenment can become a sign. If you carry a sign, you are a part of the Makso. You are still an actor on the stage. To be a Buddha means to be signless. It means to be so transparent that when people look at you, they don't see a person. They see themselves. They see a mirror. This is the secret of the master-disciple relationship. The master is not a person who teaches a disciple. The master is a silence that invites the disciple to be silent. The master is an emptiness that challenges the disciple to drop his fullness. If you come to me full of yourself, we will never meet. We will be like two billiard balls that hit each other and bounce away. But if you come to me empty, we will merge. The two emptinesses will become one. I am here to be that emptiness for you. If you find value in this space we are creating, please share this video. Let it reach the hearts that are ready to break open. Comment below and tell me what is one sign or title you have been carrying that you are now ready to let go of. Is it your intelligence, your reputation, your spirituality? By naming it, you are already halfway to dropping it. Buddha says the Tathagata does not come from anywhere, nor does he go anywhere. Therefore is he called the Tathagata. This is a deep mystery. You think you are coming to this channel, are going to work, are moving toward enlightenment. But from the perspective of the ultimate reality, there is no movement. Movement requires space and time, and space and time are parts of the matrix. In the center of the cyclone, there is absolute stillness. You are that stillness. Imagine you are watching a movie. On the screen, there is a lot of movement: cars racing, people fighting, lovers embracing. But the screen itself never moves. It is always there, still and silent, allowing the play of light and shadow to happen. You are the screen of awareness. Your thoughts are the movie. Don't get lost in the plot. Don't get identified with the hero or the villain. Just remember the screen. The screen is your reality. The movie is just a dream. The Diamond Sutra is the most radical of all sutras because it leaves you no place to hide. It takes away even your spiritual concepts. It tells you that there is no merit, no path, no attainment, and no Buddha. This is the great death. And only those who are willing to die this great death can find the great life. Most people are afraid of this. They want a religion that gives them comfort, that gives them hope, that gives them a better future. But I don't give you comfort, I give you a shock. I don't give you hope, I give you the reality of the now. Hope is a disease of the mind. It is a way of avoiding the present moment. You hope for a better tomorrow because you don't know how to live today. You hope for heaven because you have made a hell out of this earth. The Buddha says, drop all hope, not because life is hopeless, but because hope is a distraction from the beauty that is already here. When hope is gone, when the future is gone, you are suddenly thrown back into the present. And the present is the only door to the divine. To help you stay in this present moment, we have designed ebooks that act as anchors for your awareness. They are not intended to give you more knowledge, but to remind you of what you already know in your heart. They are tools to help you navigate the matrix while keeping your eyes on the stars. Use them as companions on your journey toward no mind. You ask, if everything is an illusion, why care? Care because caring is the way the heart breathes. If you stop caring, you become a stone. But care without attachment, care without the I. If you help a child cross the street, don't do it because you want to be a good person. Do it because the child needs help and you are there. Let the action be total, but let the actor be absent. This is what Buddha calls action without a sign. It is the most beautiful way to live. The matrix is a world of shadows, but the shadows are only there because there is a light. Your ego is the shadow, your awareness is the light. Don't try to fight the shadow. That is the mistake of the moralist. Just increase the light. As the light grows, the shadow naturally becomes thinner and one day it disappears. You don't have to kill your ego, you only have to see it. To see the ego as an illusion is to be free of it. If this message is resonating with you, please subscribe and stay connected with this vibration. We are turning the wheel of Dhamma together. And if you feel moved to support this work, to ensure that these diamond truths reach as many people as possible, I invite you to click the join button or offer a super thanks. Your support is a seed that will grow into a garden of awareness for many. Buddha tells Subhuti that the highest wisdom is to dwell in peace. But what is this peace? It is not the peace of the symmetry. It is not the peace of a man who has repressed his desires. It is the peace of a man who has seen through the game of desire. It is a peace that is alive, dancing, and full of joy. It is the peace of the center of the cyclone. The world can be in chaos, your body can be in pain, your mind can be in turmoil, but deep down you remain a dweller in peace. You remain the witness. This is the diamond that I want to leave with you. It is a gift that cannot be bought or sold. It can only be realized. And the realization is always now. Don't wait for a better time. Don't wait for a better you. The you that is here now is the only you that can wake up. The future you is just another dream in the matrix. Open your eyes. The sun is rising. The dream is over. My beloved ones, let this silence sink in. Let it become your very being. You are the Buddha. You are the diamond. You are the silence. And there is nothing else. Everything else is just a lightning flash, a bubble, a dream. Enjoy the dream, but don't forget the dreamer. And the dreamer is not an I. The dreamer is the whole existence itself. Stay in this space. Carry it with you as you go about your day. Let your walk be a meditation. Let your talk be a song. And let your silence be a prayer. We are together in this dance, and it is a beautiful dance. Until we meet again in the silence of the heart. This realization that there is no one to save and no one to be saved is the final nail in the coffin of the ego. It is the ultimate freedom, the breaking of the last chain in the matrix. But do not mistake this for cold indifference or a dry intellectual void. When you truly realize that the person sitting next to you is a dream and you yourself are a dream, a strange and miraculous thing happens. For the first time in your life, true compassion arises. It is a compassion that is not directed toward a person or an ego, but toward the very phenomena of dreaming. You see someone crying in their sleep, and your heart goes out to them, not because the ghost chasing them is real, but because their agony is real within the context of the dream. This is the diamond at work. It cuts through the identity but leaves the heart wide open like a window into the infinite. This is why I invite you to join this caravan of the soul. If your heart has been stirred by these reflections, if you feel that the old ways of thinking, the old ways of being someone are no longer enough, I invite you to click the join button and become a part of our digital Sangha. Our members are the pioneers of this new consciousness, the ones who help us turn the wheel of Dhamma in this digital age of 2026. Your support, whether through membership or a super thanks, is a beautiful way to acknowledge the value of this awakening, helping us reach those who are still trapped in the darker corners of the matrix. And for those who want to go deeper, our ebooks offer a roadmap through the territory of the soul, helping you to deconstruct the illusions of the mind in your own quiet hours. Think about Subhuti once more. He is the representative of all of us. One day, while he was sitting under a tree in deep meditation, it is said that the gods started showering him with flowers. Subhuti was surprised. His eyes opened and he looked up. He asked, "Why are you showering me with flowers? I have not said a single word. I have not done anything. I have not even been meditating on a particular object." And the gods replied, "We are showering you with flowers because you have not said anything and you have not done anything. You have reached the state of no mind, and in that state, the whole of existence celebrates. Your silence is the most beautiful music we have ever heard. This is the highest praise existence can give, the praise of silence. You are always looking for praise from the world. You want people to tell you how smart you are, how successful you are, how spiritual you have become. But all that praise is just noise. It is food for the ego. and the ego is a hungry ghost that can never be satisfied. The ego lives on the opinions of others. It is a parasite, but the soul lives on its own light. When you are truly silent, when you have dropped the matrix of your social identity, you don't need anyone's approval. You are approved by the stars, by the trees, by the very air you breathe. You are a part of the whole, and the whole is happy that you are here, simply as you are. The Diamond Sutra tells us that everything that has a sign is deceptive. Your name is a sign. Your face is a sign. Your status, your degrees, your bank account, they are all signs. Even your enlightenment can become a sign if you start wearing it like a badge. If you carry a sign, you are still a part of the mark show. You are still an actor who has forgotten that the play will eventually end. To be a Buddha means to be signless. It means to be so transparent that when people look at you, they don't see a person with a history. They see a mirror reflecting their own original face. This is the secret of the master-disciple relationship. The master is not a person who teaches a disciple. That is a very low-level understanding. The master is a silence that invites the disciple to be silent. The master is an emptiness that challenges the disciple to drop his fullness. If you come to me full of your knowledge, full of your Oshoisms, full of your theories, we will never meet. We will be like two billiard balls that hit each other and bounce away. But if you come to me empty, we will merge. The two emptinesses will become one single vast ocean. I am here to be that emptiness for you. If you find value in this space we are creating together, please share this video. Let it reach the hearts that are ready to break open, the minds that are tired of the matrix. Comment below and tell me, what is one sign or title you have been carrying that you are now ready to let go of? Is it your intelligence, your reputation, your sorrow? By naming it, you are already putting it on the table to be discarded. Buddha says that the Tathagata does not come from anywhere, nor does he go anywhere. Therefore is he called the Tathagata. This is a deep, profound mystery. You think you are coming to this video, are going to your office, are moving toward your future. But from the perspective of the ultimate reality, there is no movement. Movement requires space and time. And space and time are the fabric of the matrix. In the center of the cyclone, there is absolute stillness. You are that stillness. The world moves around you. The body ages. The thoughts flicker like lightning. But you, the witness, have never moved a single inch. Imagine you are watching a movie. On the screen there is a lot of action. Wars are fought, civilizations rise and fall, lovers weep, but the screen itself never moves, never bleeds, never cries. It remains white and silent, allowing the play of light and shadow to happen. You are the screen of awareness. Your life is the movie. Don't get lost in the plot. Don't get so identified with the hero that you start feeling his pain. Are so angry at the villain that your blood pressure rises. Just remember the screen. The screen is your reality. The movie is just a dream you are having while awake. The Diamond Sutra is the most radical of all sutras because it leaves you no place to hide. It takes away even your spiritual concepts. It tells you that there is no merit, no path, no attainment, and no Buddha. This is the great death. And only those who are willing to die this great death can find the great life. Most people are afraid of this. They want a religion that gives them a cozy blanket, a warm promise of a better tomorrow. But I don't give you blankets. I set you on fire. I don't give you hope. I give you the reality of the now, which is far more beautiful than any hope. Hope is a disease of the mind. It is a way of avoiding the present moment. You hope for a better tomorrow because you don't know how to live today. You hope for heaven because you have turned this earth into a prison. The Buddha says, drop all hope, not because life is hopeless, but because hope is a distraction from the ecstasy that is already here. When hope is gone, when the future is gone, you are suddenly thrown back into the only moment that exists, and the present is the only door to the divine. To help you stay in this present moment, we have designed ebooks that act as anchors for your awareness. They are not intended to give you more knowledge to store in your mental attic, but to remind you of what you already know in the depth of your silence. They are tools to help you navigate the matrix while keeping your eyes fixed on the eternal. Use them as companions on your journey toward no mind. You ask, if everything is an illusion, why care? Care because caring is the way the heart breathes. If you stop caring, you become a stone, and stones don't wake up. But care without attachment, care without the I. If you help a child Don't do it because you want to be a good person or earn merit. Do it because the child needs help and you are the only one there. Let the action be total, but let the actor be absent. This is what Buddha calls action without a sign. It is the most graceful way to live. The matrix is a world of shadows, but the shadows are only there because there is a light behind them. Your ego is the shadow, your awareness is the light. Don't try to fight the shadow. That is the mistake of the moralist and the Puritan. Just increase the light. As the light grows, the shadow naturally becomes thinner, more transparent, and one day it simply vanishes. You don't have to kill your ego, you only have to see it. To see the ego as an illusion is to be free of it forever. If this message is resonating with your soul, please subscribe and stay connected with this vibration. We are turning the wheel of Dhamma together right here in 2026. And if you feel moved to support this work, to ensure that these diamond truths reach as many people as possible, I invite you to click the join button or offer a super thanks. Your support is a seed that will grow into a garden of awareness for many seekers. Buddha tells Subhuti that the highest wisdom is to dwell in peace. But what is this peace? It is not the peace of the graveyard. It is not the peace of a man who has repressed his desires and become a monk out of fear. It is the peace of a man who has seen through the game of desire and realized its futility. It is a peace that is alive, dancing, and full of juice. It is the peace at the center of the cyclone. The world can be in chaos, your body can be in pain, the economy can collapse, but deep down you remain a dweller in peace. You remain the witness, untouched and unbothered. This is the diamond that I want to leave with you. It is a gift that cannot be bought, sold, or stolen. It can only be realized. And the realization is always now. Don't wait for a better time. Don't wait for a holier version of yourself. The you that is here now, with all its flaws and confusion, is the only you that can wake up. The future you is just another dream in the matrix. Open your eyes, the sun is rising, the dream is over. Be blessed, be silent, be the diamond. Do you see the trick? The ego even tries to turn its own death into a performance. It wants to be there to witness its own funeral, to see how many people show up, to hear the eulogies. But in the reality of the Diamond Sutra, there is no funeral, because there was never anyone alive to begin with. There was only a process, a flow, a series of flickering lights that you mistook for a solid eye. When you realize this, the fear of death simply evaporates. How can you kill a shadow? How can you destroy a reflection in a mirror? The mirror remains, the light remains, but the you was just a temporary arrangement of shadows. This is the freedom that makes the religious man truly dangerous to the establishment. A man who is not afraid of death cannot be controlled. A man who knows he is an illusion cannot be manipulated. The politicians, the priests, the masters of the matrix, they all depend on your fear. They depend on your belief that you are a separate, fragile entity that needs protection, that needs an identity, that needs to belong to a nation or a religion. But once you have touched the diamonds, you belong only to existence. You are no longer a citizen, you are a celebration. If you feel this rebellion stirring in your heart, if you are ready to step out of the sheep mentality and find your own lion's roar, I invite you to click the join button. By becoming a member, you are supporting the creation of a Buddha field, a space where truth is the only law. Our members are the roots of this tree, allowing the branches to reach higher and higher into the unknown. Your participation through Super Thanks is also a vital energy, a way of saying that you value the light more than the shadows. It is a sharing of the inner abundance that arises when you stop clinging to the small and open yourself to the vast. Think about the concept of giving that Buddha discusses with Subhuti. He says that the greatest gift is not gold or silver, but the gift of truth. Why? Because gold only helps you to be a more comfortable prisoner in the matrix. It makes your cell a little more luxurious, your chains a little more polished. But truth gives you the key to the door. Most people don't want the key. They want better curtains for their cell windows. They want a better life, but they don't want a new life. They want to keep the eye and just add some decorations to it. I am not here to decorate your eye. I am here to demolish it. And I know it hurts. I know it feels like everything is falling apart. But let it fall. It is only the falls that can fall. The true can never be shaken. To help you through this demolition, our ebooks are designed as guides for the soul. They are like torches in the dark, helping you to see where you are clinging, where you are hiding, and where you are afraid. Use them to maintain your awareness when the world tries to pull you back into the dream. There was a great emperor in China named Wu who went to meet Bodhidharma. Wu was a very good man. He had built thousands of temples, supported thousands of monks, and translated many scriptures. He expected Bodhidharma to tell him he was a saint. He asked, "I have done all these things. What is my merit?" And Bodhidharma, the direct heir to the Diamond Sutra, looked him in the eye and said, "No merit at all. You will go to the deepest hell." The emperor was shocked. "Why?" he asked. Bodhidharma replied, "Because you are still counting. Because you are still the doer. You are building temples to feed your ego, not to find the truth. Your goodness is just a mask for your pride." This is the message of Buddha. If you do something and you remember it, it is a sin. If you do something and you forget it immediately, it is a virtue. Real virtue has no memory. It is as natural as a tree shedding its leaves. The tree doesn't keep a diary of how many leaves it gave to the earth. This doerless action is the secret of the Zen masters. They may be chopping wood, they may be cooking, they may be sitting, but inside there is no one doing it. The wood is being chopped, the food is being cooked, the sitting is happening, but the I is absent. When the I is absent, God is present. Not a God who lives in the clouds, but the godliness that is the very fabric of existence. If you find that this perspective is shaking the foundations of your beliefs, please share this video. The world needs this shaking. It needs to wake up from its slumber of merit and goodness into the reality of awareness. Comment below and tell me, what is the good deed you are most proud of? Can you drop that pride? Can you let that action become signless? The matrix is built on the idea of becoming. You are always trying to become someone else, better, richer, holier. But the Diamond Sutra is about being. It is about realizing that there is nowhere to go because you are already there. You are a Buddha pretending to be a seeker. You are the ocean pretending to be a thirsty man. The only thing that is missing is the recognition. And recognition doesn't take time, it takes intensity. It happens in a single aha moment. People come to me and say, "Osho, I have been meditating for 20 years, but I am still not enlightened." I tell them, the fact that you are waiting for enlightenment is the reason you are missing it. Enlightenment is not in the future. It is not something that will happen tomorrow. It is the quality of your now. If you can sit here right now with no desire to be anywhere else, with no thought of what comes next, you are enlightened. In that moment, the diamond is in your hands. But the moment you think, I have it, you have lost it. The mind is a collector. It wants to collect experiences. It wants to collect bliss. It wants to collect truth. But truth cannot be collected. It is like the air. You can breathe it, but you cannot store it in a box. You must be available to it in every moment, fresh and new. This freshness is what I call innocence. The Diamond Sutra is for the innocent, for those who are willing to be children again. Unless you become as little children, you shall not enter the kingdom of God. Don't be a scholar of the sutras. Scholars are the most foolish people in the world, because they think that knowing the word fire is the same as being burned. They think that by analyzing the Diamond Sutra, they will find the diamond. No, you will only find dust. The diamond is not in the words, it is in the gaps between the words. It is in the silence that follows my sentences. It is in the space where you are not. As we continue this journey into the heart of the diamond, stay alert. Don't fall back into the habit of learning. This is not a classroom, it is a fire. I am here to burn your knowledge so that your being can shine. Subscribe to this fire. Join this movement of the soul. And remember, every time you share this light, you are helping someone else to wake up from their nightmare. Let the words of Buddha echo in your heart. As a lamp, a mark so, dewdrops are a bubble. A dream, a lightning flash are clouds. This is not a philosophy. It is a description of your reality. Look at your life through these eyes. Look at your worries, your ambitions, your fears. Are they not bubbles? Are they not clouds? In the light of this understanding, let your tension dissolve. Relax into your own nothingness. There is no one to protect, and there is nowhere to fall. You are already in the hands of existence. Carry this awareness as you walk, as you eat, as you sleep. Let the Diamond Sutra be the background music of your life. And one day, without any effort, you will find that the you has vanished and only the beauty of the whole remains. That is the goal. That is the non-goal. That is the end of the matrix. This leads us to the very edge of the abyss, where the mind begins to tremble. You have been taught to seek meaning in everything. You ask, what is the meaning of my life? What is the meaning of this sutra? What is the meaning of existence? I tell you, existence is meaningless, and that is its greatest beauty. Meaning is a limitation. Meaning is a commodity of the mind. A machine has meaning because it was created for a purpose. A hammer has meaning. A car has meaning. But a rose has no meaning. A sunrise has no meaning. A song of a bird in the middle of a forest where no one is listening has no meaning. It simply is. The Diamond Sutra is trying to bring you to this isness, this tathata, where the why finally dies and only the is remains. The matrix is obsessed with why. It wants to categorize every experience, to give every emotion a label, to find a reason for every heartbeat. But the moment you find a reason, you have killed the mystery. If you love someone because they are beautiful, or because they are kind, or because they make you feel secure, that is not love, that is a transaction. True love has no because. It is a causeless flowering. And the diamond wisdom is a causeless awakening. It doesn't happen because you practiced for 20 years. It happens because you finally realized that the one who was practicing was the problem. The practicer is the ego in a new disguise. If you feel this meaningless joy bubbling up within you, if you are starting to see that life is a play rather than a task, I invite you to click the join button. By becoming a member, you are not just supporting a person, you are fueling a fire. You are helping to maintain this space where the meaningless can be celebrated. Our members are the fellow travelers who understand that the journey is the goal. Your support through super thanks is a beautiful way to share your fragrance, to say yes to this causeless joy. And for those who wish to navigate this ocean of isness with more clarity, our ebooks provide the coordinates for the shoreless sea. They are for the brave ones who are ready to let go of the why and dive into the what. Buddha says to Subhuti, Subhuti, do not say that the Tathagata has the idea, I will teach the Dharma. If anyone says so, he slanders the Buddha. Why? Because there is no Dharma to be taught. This is a masterpiece of subversion. Buddha is sitting there teaching for decades, and he says there is no teaching. He is being utterly honest. Truth cannot be taught, it can only be caught. It is like an infection. I am here to infect you with my silence, with my laughter, with my presence. My words are just the carrier. If you get caught up in the words, you miss the infection. You become a scholar of the disease rather than the diseased one. I want you to be diseased with godliness, so sick of the matrix that you can never go back to being a normal citizen again. What is a normal citizen? A normal citizen is a well-adjusted robot. He works when he is told, he buys what he is told, he believes what he is told. He is the perfect fuel for the matrix. The Diamond Sutra is the ultimate anti-robot manual. It tells you that your functions are not you. Your utility is not your value. Your value is intrinsic. You are valuable simply because you are. You don't need to achieve anything to prove your worth. This realization is a great threat to the world of economics and politics, which is why they have tried to turn Buddha into a god, a statue, a ritual. They want to bury the diamond under a pile of flowers. But the diamond is still there, sharp and cold, ready to cut through the flowers and the statues alike. Look at your thoughts. They are like clouds passing in the sky. Do the clouds belong to the sky? No. Do they leave any tracks? No. The sky remains pure. No matter how many dark or white clouds pass through it. You are the sky of awareness. But you have become so obsessed with the weather of your mind that you have forgotten your skyness. You think today I am depressed, or today I am happy. No. Depression is a cloud. Happiness is a cloud. You are the one who is watching both. This witnessing is the diamond. It is the only thing that is real. Everything else is just a lightning flash or a bubble. If you find that this witnessing is beginning to happen in your life, please share this video with others. Let the skyness spread. The world is full of people who are lost in the weather, people who are drowning in their own bubbles. Comment below and tell me, what is the cloud that has been bothering you the most lately? Can you see it as just vapor? Can you let it pass without trying to change its shape? In the watching, the cloud loses its grip. One of the most profound sections of the sutra is when Subhuti asks Buddha about the future generations. He is worried about people like you, living 25 centuries later in a world of noise and distraction. He asks Lord, will there be anyone who hears these words and truly understands? And Buddha replies, Subhuti, even in the darkest times, there will be beings who have planted seeds of virtue under many Buddhas. They will understand. You are those beings. You are not here by accident. You are here because your soul has been preparing for this diamond for lifetimes. You have tried everything else: money, power, relationships, religion, and you have found them all to be mark sows. Now you are ready for the real thing. But the real thing is not a thing, it is an emptiness. And that is why it is so difficult to hold on to. The mind wants something to grasp, but you cannot grasp emptiness. You can only be it. It is like trying to catch the wind in a net. If you want to experience the wind, you must drop the net and become the wind itself. This dropping of the net is what I call surrender. Surrender to the moment, surrender to the silence, surrender to the suchness of your life. To help you drop the net, we have curated ebooks that guide you through the various masks the ego wears to avoid this surrender. They are like mirrors that show you where you are still holding on. I encourage you to use them not as holy books, but as tools for your own inner surgery. The more you see your own holding on, the easier it becomes to let go. Buddha says that no dharma can be grasped, no dharma can be taught. This is the ultimate no. It is the neti neti of the Upanishads. Not this, not that. It is a process of elimination. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are not your emotions. You are not your soul. You are not your God. When everything is eliminated, what remains? That which cannot be eliminated. That which is left, when there is nothing left to say, that is the diamond. That is you. The matrix is a construction of yeses. Yes to this role, yes to that desire, yes to this identity. The Diamond Sutra is the great no. It says no to the illusion, so that the truth can reveal itself. It is like cleaning a mirror. You don't create the reflection is already there. You only remove the dust of the yeses. Once the dust is gone, the whole universe is reflected in you. You become the cosmic mirror. As we move deeper into these final stages of our journey, I want you to stay very alert. the ego will try to turn this nothingness into a thing. It will say, I am now a practitioner of the Diamond Sutra. I am very empty. Beware of this holy ego. It is the most subtle trap of the matrix. If you think you are empty, you are still full of yourself. True emptiness doesn't even know it is empty. It is just a silence that has no name. I invite you to continue this walk with me. Subscribe to this channel, click join, and let us create a community of the nobodies, the empty ones, the mirrors. Every super thanks you give, every video you share is a way of saying no to the matrix and yes to the diamond. We are building a world that the politicians cannot understand, a world of freedom that has no boundaries. The wheel of Dhamma is reaching its peak. The diamond is cutting through the last layers of the veil. Stay with me. Don't fall back into the dream. The sun is almost up, and once you have seen the light, the darkness of the matrix will never be the same again. You are the light, you are the diamond, you are the truth. Carry this isness with you into your next hour. Whatever you do, washing the dishes, walking the dog, talking to a friend, do it with the awareness that it is all a mark show, a beautiful play of shadows. When you act from this space, your actions lose their weight. They become light, graceful, and full of love. This is the perfection of wisdom in action. This is the ultimate secret of the diamond wisdom. It is so sharp that it doesn't even leave a scar on the soul. It beheads the ego so gracefully, so silently, that you don't even realize the you is gone until you try to find yourself and find only the vast, pulsing emptiness of the universe. In that moment of total surrender, you are not just understanding a philosophy, you are undergoing a spiritual death. That is the only door to the eternal. When Buddha says that all conditioned things are like a lightning flash or a dream, he is giving you the final perspective needed to step out of the matrix once and for all. If you are a dream, why be afraid of another dream? If you are a bubble, why be afraid of popping? The popping is not the end of you, it is your return to the ocean. It is the end of the boundary and the beginning of the infinite. As we reach the conclusion of this long walk together, I want you to feel the weight of these words, not as a burden, but as a liberation. If you feel that your life is a series of bubbles and you are tired of trying to keep them from bursting, then you have finally arrived at the threshold of the truth. I invite you to click the join button and become a permanent part of our digital Sangha. Our members are the ones who make it possible for this thunderbolt of wisdom to reach thirsty seekers all over the world, even in the most remote corners of the matrix. Your support as a member or through a super thanks is a beautiful way to express your commitment to your own awakening while helping others do the same. And for those who want to carry these teachings with them into the marketplace, our e-books are crafted to be your maps through the labyrinth of the mind, helping you maintain your diamond clarity in the midst of the noise. The Diamond Sutra ends with a celebration, but it is a silent celebration of the heart. It doesn't end with a conclusion, because truth has no conclusion. It is an eternal flowing. Buddha tells Subhuti that the Tathagata has no notion of attainment. This is the hardest part for the human mind to grasp. We are so goal-oriented. We want to attain enlightenment as if it were a trophy, a certificate, or a new identity to brag about. But enlightenment is the realization that there is nothing to attain, because you have never been separate from the whole for a single moment. It is like a man who dreams he is a beggar and wakes up to find he is a king. Did he attain the kingdom? No. He was always the king. He just stopped dreaming he was a beggar. The moment the dream stopped, the king was there. Most of your life is spent in this beggar consciousness. Even when you are seeking God, you are always asking for something: love, money, respect, or peace of mind. You are always looking outside for what is already throbbing inside your own heart. The Diamond Sutra is the total destruction of the outside. It leaves you with nowhere to turn but inwards. And once you turn inward with total intensity, you find that there is no inward or outward. There is only the one indivisible existence. There is only the silence. There is only the diamond. This is why I am so insistent on your meditation. Meditation is not a technique to get somewhere. It is the art of being exactly where you are, without any desire to move. I often tell the story of the old woman who was searching for something on the street under a lamp post. A crowd gathered to help her. They asked, "What have you lost?" She said, "I have lost my needle." They searched and searched but couldn't find it. Finally, someone asked, Where exactly did you drop it? She replied, I dropped it inside my house, but there is no light there. Here, there is a lamp post, so I am searching here. This is the state of all human beings. You have lost your joy inside, but you are searching for it under the lamp posts of the matrix: money, fame, relationships, and knowledge. I am here to tell you, go back inside. Even if it is dark, that is where the needle is. And once you sit in that darkness long enough, your own awareness will become the light. If you find that these talks are helping you to stop your outward searching, please share them with others who are still exhausted by the hunt. The world is full of people searching under the wrong lampposts. Comment below and tell me, what is the most stubborn lamppost you have been clinging to? Is it your career, your intellectual pride, your past? In the sharing, the illusion begins to lose its grip, and the light of the diamond begins to shine through. This is how we support each other in the Sangha, by being honest about our dreams so that we can wake up together. Buddha says that even to hear these words and not be terrified is a sign of great merit. Why terrified? Because the Diamond Sutra is the end of you. It is the end of your matrix. It is the end of your history, your personality, your carefully constructed identity. For the ego, this is the ultimate catastrophe, but for the soul, this is the first breath of true freedom. It is the beginning of a life lived in suchness, where you are no longer a victim of circumstances, but a witness to the whole cosmic play. To live in suchness means to accept the rain, the sun, the pain, and the joy with the same equanimity. You become the mirror that reflects everything but is changed by nothing. This is my final message to you in this series. Don't be a somebody, be a nobody. Don't be a doer who is constantly trying to fix the world. Be a witness who allows the world to be as it is. Don't be a seeker who is always looking for a future goal. Be the finding that is happening right now. The matrix is a world of shadows, but you are the light that makes those shadows possible. Remember your light. Remember your silence. Remember your diamond. When you walk, walk like a Buddha. When you sit, sit like a Buddha. Not by imitating his gestures, but by inhabiting his awareness. As we conclude this journey into the Vajrachedika Prajnaparamita Sutra, let these words settle into the very marrow of your bones. Don't try to remember them with your brain. Let them remember you. Let them be a constant, silent reminder of your own divinity, of your own thusness. You are not a traveler in time. You are the eternal now. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean itself, momentarily appearing as a drop. The diamond is in your hands. It has always been there. You just had your fist closed tight. Open your hands. Let the diamond shine. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for your presence, your love, and your burgeoning awareness. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and ring the bell so you don't miss our future communions. I invite you once more to click join and explore our ebooks to keep this fire of awareness burning in your daily life. Every contribution, every super thanks helps us to keep this wheel of Dhamma turning for all of humanity in this chaotic age. We are creating a new world together, a world of Buddhas, a world of laughter, a world of truth. And it starts with you right here in this very moment. Be blessed, be silent, be the diamond. The dream is over, the sun is up, and you are finally home. If you hear me, if you truly hear me, then let your life be your message. Live so totally that even death finds nothing to take away when it arrives. Live as if you are already a Buddha, because you are. The matrix has no power over a man who has found his own center. Stay in that center. Stay in that peace. I am with you, not as a person, but as the very silence that is now descending upon your heart. Goodbye for now, my beloved ones. But remember, in the heart of the diamond, there is no such thing as goodbye. We are always here. We have always been here. Dusk come, dusk gone. The dance continues, the song remains, and the silence is eternal. See you in the next moment of awareness. Subscribe, stay alert, and keep the flame alive.